Sorry. All right. So welcome to our CCNP class, folks. Class ends 5/5/2021, so about 3 weeks from now. I am not going to turn off your NetAcad or your NetLabs access, but you will be losing access to canvas.stanley.edu. I have to ask, if you will, please go to canvas.stanley.edu, scroll to the bottom and do the course evaluations. Evaluate this course, evaluate me. I always forget to have my students do this, especially because the crazy thing is I only teach instructors. I don't teach any other students. So most of the time I don't even ask you to do it, but they've asked us to kind of make that a priority. So if you will log into canvas.stanley.edu before 5/5 and do that course evaluation for me, I would appreciate it. I think they're actually giving away some gift cards if you do it and put down your information. I was there. Do you have a question? Somebody have a question?
Yeah, I have a question.
Go ahead.
When I enter the Canvas, before I select the class, it has like a frame that says that I have to do some evaluation, but I don't know. I have also evenly. I have two frames, one for COVID-19 and other one, but I don't know if this is the evaluation from the Canvas, or I have to enter the class and go to the course evaluation.
You have to enter the class and go to course evaluations.
Okay.
Yeah. If you're out here, if you're just out here and you're not in the class,
yes, your opinion matters. That's the one in the upper part. Your opinion matters. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that is not the course server. I would appreciate you doing that, but this is just a general college engagement survey. From our class, you need to go into the class and do the course evaluations.
And my last question is after the May 5th, do we lose access to the O'Reilly site?
No, sir. No, sir. In fact, you've hit the jackpot, because I was going to talk about O'Reilly here in a minute, because I'm actually going to suggest that you go watch a video from the second book. But you've hit the jackpot. Your Stanley email account stays active for roughly 1 year past the end of the last class you take. Typically, it stays good for at least two real semesters. So summer, fall is usually you would have access until, more than likely, quite honestly, you'll probably have access till the end of next May itself.
Sweet. Excellent.
But
thank you.
You're going to have access for at least the summer and the fall. If you take the summer class, you'll actually have access for probably back to the next summer. So quite honestly, we were talking about this walk-in today. You could almost make a point that if you were to come to Stanley Community College and take one of our IT Academy courses, it's worth the money to spend $200 just to get access to O'Reilly for 6 months to a year. It pays for itself. Oh, okay. Keith says, how do I reset my Stanley email access? You can go to the Stanley webpage, and you can go to tech support, and just go to, you should just be able to type in it right here, password reset, and you can reset your password. That's okay, Keisha, no problem. I have a microphone. I'll keep the chat up then so I can see the chat window. You can see that. So you can do that. Go ahead.
For the second class, you said that we have access to the NetAcad. The content also, it's going to be available, or the content is not like CCNA that it's going to be available?
Nope. Remember, CCNP will be just like it is now, which means you will not have access to the content. The content will be like our current class. So in other words, the labs will be there. There'll be some quizzes for the chapters, but that's it. There isn't the curriculum online. Now, having said that, here's your curriculum. Your curriculum is going to be the book, which is right here.
Okay.
Now, let me show you. I want to show you in O'Reilly what I've set up for you. I've set up a new playlist, and that playlist is the NARSI playlist. And here's the book right here. So there's the official cert guide. So this will be the book for you for the class in the summer. What I wanted to show you is this video course. what I'm going to suggest, if you're struggling a little bit with BGP path selection, I can't say enough good things about this 36-minute video right here. BGP path selection. Watch this video right here, and it's going to help you out a lot. And by the way, this is the entire section on BGP is worth watching. Okay, so that's available to you, and that's in that new playlist. Go back again, I'll show you the playlist. There's a playlist for this next course, and you should have access to it. So you just go right here, and right there will be the book for the summer. And if for some reason you're not taking the class in the summer, then you will be able to, you'll be able to look at this and study yourself if you want to do that. So, any questions about that? So Riley will still be available for you over the summer, definitely, even if you're not in a course this summer. Okay. So for me, I need you to do that course evaluation if you can. I need you to realize that, you know, our next class starts June 2nd. So you'll want to be finishing up, or at least getting towards finishing up the ENCORE class by then. And then we will go from there, folks. The other thing I want to do is I did want to show you, where did that go? Right here. The labs that I sent you, or the presentation that went on today, Dr. Jorge Kuchinko at the University of South Carolina is a big partner of ours in the NSF grant that we have, and he's just a great guy and super intelligent. But he worked with one of his grad students, Ali, and they have created a series of BGP labs using a thing called MiniNet. And so they built, using MiniNet and free range routing, a series of labs. I sent to you a link that will allow you to get 90 days free access to these labs. Now that is only for you. Please don't share that link with anybody. It's only for you. But I'm also going to do this. Right now, it's not available. I've only got one pod of it on your inside of here. But I actually have added to your ENCORE class, I've added those Zeek intrusion detection labs. Let's make sure we got a pod here. Yep, we got one pod that's available. And I've also added the BGP labs into your class on Net Labs. So you can actually do it. I'm going to add more pods. Right now, there's only a single pod. But one thing I want to show you is, and I'll add 5 of these so you'll have more. But these pods and what's been developed by Dr. Kuchinko is pretty amazing, because the labs themselves are well written, and most of them are about 20 pages a piece. So there's a great deal of content inside of the lab itself. And it goes through, it's not just, like for instance, here's best path, prefers the largest weight, then it will be local preference. And if that's it, then it looks originated by the originated BGP. And then on down through here, which is exactly what I was going to show you in, which is what's shown in that video. So he's got all that stuff inside of there for you to use, so it will give you the ability to look those over. Go back to my Net Lab here, but you'll see that in this lab, these labs are written. They're very well written. They're written actually using the exact same format as all other Cisco and not Cisco, but NDG Labs. And this tells you that this was part of the NSF award 1822698. But it goes through and tells you what MiniNet is. Shows you, I mean, it's more than just a lab. It actually tries to teach you what MiniNet is. It shows you how to invoke it, how to play in it, how to build the infrastructures. In fact, what he has done here with MiniNet and with BGP may possibly be where we have to go, depending on how CML works, because of the cost of CML. It may become too cost prohibitive for us to use CML. But this is like I said, a 28-page lab. It's very well written. It shows you how to use MiniNet. I'm gonna go back here real quick and show you his first one on BGP, because the one on BGP, preview this lab, you'll see it's 23 pages, and it goes through, and again, it's trying to teach you what is BGP, what is an IGP, what is BGP overview, looking at the lab topologies. He built these labs from the idea of trying to teach people, not just have a single lab that they do, but it goes through and discusses what those concepts are, and then you load the mini-net setups, and it will allow you to go in and do the labs. So I strongly recommend that you do play with these labs, go through them. You've got access to all of them already through that link I sent you. If you can, do them there first, because that will give us credit for students doing those labs inside of the link that we shared with you. That's also, by the way, a preview of the portal and the work we've been doing with the portal that allows you to access those. So did anybody actually go and sign up for the labs?
Not yet.
You did? Let me see if I can find what I sent y'all. Yep, here it is. These labs right here, this is one of the ones I went to, but I signed up for them. All the labs are right here, but this is the portal, folks. This is, right now I've got all these things because I am in 10,000 different things with the portal project. But you know, here's, if you signed up for all three of them where I sent, you can actually get access to these for 90 days. And when you click here to do a lab, it literally will boot the lab up for you, and we'll start the lab. And it by default only gives you 90 minutes, but this is now actually booting. It could be booting in my data center, it could be booting in the University of South Carolina's data center, or it could be booting in NDG's data center. And so either one, but actually this is at our data center, because you can see it's RG Stan. So this is an instance booting down the hallway from me. The beauty is, though, when it gets to the last 15 minutes, you can expand it and work on it for longer. So this is, to me, the future of net labs and of learning and how we're going to do things as we move forward. So, and Keisha said she was able to get them loaded on her local net labs, which is fine, because they are actually, you can easily download them and get them on your net labs if you have a full net labs, which is what I've done here for you.
Did you say you had a preference of us doing them through NDG or doing them through our portal?
Let's go ahead right now, and until your access on the portal ends, let's do them inside the portal, because it will help us. It's going to do a couple things for me. One, it's going to test the system for us, and it will also allow us to pull participation numbers. So if you're going to do the BGP labs, try to do them inside the portal for me.
Okay, on your system. Okay, good.
Yeah, on the portal. Yeah, you know, on these links that I sent you, that I sent to the class. Because I sent this. Let me pull this over. I sent you this email today. And so sign up for these labs down there and use that link to do the labs. Okay. Now, once that 90 days is over, you'll probably still have access to my net labs. I'm bad about turning net labs access off. So there's a possibility you'd still have net labs access. So you may be able to get access there. Okay. So what I want you to do at this point, again, I want you to look at the BGP video in the ENARSI class, or video class. Review that for me, okay? And then do those course evaluations, and we will just continue to work on your labs, folks. Hey, David, no problem. You can review what we're talking about, because we're just about finishing up, unless people have questions. So again, I've added a new playlist right here, and it's the ENARSI. So it's got the book for the next class. It's got the book for, or it's got the video course. One thing I have found, folks, is if I stay logged in for a while, I may end up to where the playlists don't work right. If that happens to you, just sign out and then go back to Stanley's webpage and go back through the process of accessing the database, and it'll work perfectly fine for you. Okay. Any questions? No questions? No all, say all?
Okay, well, a totally different matter. What my strategy had been, I was reading ahead on the book and doing some of the chapter quizzes. So I'm now about to start doing all of the labs.
Okay.
You said, so for doing the labs, it's just to upload just export the file from CML and upload them on our platform.
Correct. That's all you have to do. Export the YAML and upload it.
Okay, good.
And you don't forget, I think you were already in the meeting, Basil, but make sure you look at the, if you don't remember, the fact that to make the YAML file keep your config, you have to go down underneath the device and tell it to save it.
Yes, I remember you had a video.
Yeah, it's in our class, one of our class meetings. I went over it and showed you how to do that. So just make sure you're doing that. Otherwise, you're just going to upload a YAML file with nothing in it.
Yes. Okay.
The good news about those YAML files, though, is I can actually just open them in a text editor and look at it and see what you've done and pretty much see whether or not you did the lab, which is good. And folks, I still have not given up on the real equipment. I'm just waiting on that labs to get that pod built or NDG, and I'll have that up and running for you too. So my goal is to give you, multiple ways to do the labs, but I may not be able to get it to you till summer. So I apologize. I was told when this class started to be done within 2 weeks, and it's still not done. So I don't know. I can't do anything else with it. So in fact, I think, David, that may be something you and I can talk about once they get that pod up and running. Since you've got a lot of 3v3 pods still online, I may work with you to get you to bring some CCNP pods online and see if maybe we could help share some access. David said, sure, good, be excellent. Okay. I also, Melanie, if you registered for the event, sent this out. And so this is a good little look at the weight attributes, the med attributes, and the different types of ways that path selection takes place on a BGP router. This was a neat meeting because this was all people who actually run BGP as part of their day-to-day job. And so if you were actually able to, I think basically you said you attended it. If you were able to watch it, there should have been some pretty knowledgeable folks there. Okay, any other questions? Folks, I'm sorry I don't have anything else today. I don't have the lecture ready to go. I do apologize. I hope that with these resources, that'll be enough to get you going and keep you going. And if you have any questions, just let me know, and I'll do everything I can as we move forward to get you in that next class. If you've asked to be in it and get you access to what you need to get your CCNP. So I'd like for everybody to take and pass their exam, myself included. Go ahead, David.
Okay, some of the one particular ones, the 3x3 that we were talking about for the CCNP labs, there are some really weird hookup configurations. Do they have like a standardized, similar like Net Labs?
Yes, they will, and that's what I'm waiting on, David. I'm waiting on them to publish that standardized setup, just like we do with our regular Net Labs setup.
Right.
And it's I know there's one coming for CCNP ENCORE. Okay. Right. I just don't know exactly when it's going to be available, but as soon as they get that done, then we will have an actual, they'll have a wiring scheme, they'll have everything for us that we can set it up just like we would our typical CCNA pods.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's coming. And it exists, and actually right now it exists for the old stuff. If you want to do it for like the version 7 stuff.
Right.
But the version 8 doesn't exist yet. They're still working on it.
Because one of the ways that I've been doing is I've been taking the open lab, which is 3x3 complete hookup, and then throwing the configs in there. I've got some 2911s and I have no switches to beat the band.
Yeah.
I'm having to use most of my equipment right now for real-time forward with students.
Right.
That are not part of Net Labs, but we upped our license in Net Labs so we can actually put like a ridiculous, I think we did the 32. I know that's nothing compared to how much y'all can do. But,
30, honestly, 32 pods on a system that has real gear is actually pretty high. We only have 2 systems that go to 64, and those are systems that are designed for nothing but virtual machines like our VMware stuff.
Right.
But you think about it, we have 16 real gear pods. We're gonna, by the way, I just ordered some real gear pods, and we're looking at ETA of them getting in house of maybe even June or July, because of the chip shortage. Of course, that's the latest excuse, you know, and I'm sure the chip shortage is a big thing, but we've got, you know, Cisco gears getting tougher to get a hold of. So if you're wanting to buy something, you may want to get in the order queue, because who knows what's going to happen with if this chip shortage continues. So it could get bad. We've already seen lead times go pretty high with and here's the crazy thing. The thing I'm waiting on is the 2960 switches, which is the one that's going into sale anyway. So, but I did order 2 of the E1000 switches, and I'm gonna start testing them to see if possibly they will work. But again, that's not an official replacement. That's just one I'm trying to see, because it's the business replacement for the 2960. Okay. Any other questions? Everybody kind of know where we're going, what's going on?
1 second, I'm just looking here, the Devnet labs that you have added for us. When I click on it, it's just one lab. It's not many labs. It's just one lab under that heading. Okay.
Right. Yeah, because it's just an environment for you to use to do the labs.
Okay. Okay.
That's all it is. They do not have. By the way, we're beta testing this entire setup for them. They don't have the labs put into the content like we do with the others, but you should be able to take the labs that require the 1000B and network programmability and that PC and connect the 2 and do the labs.
Okay, so it's sort of like, I know in the actual Devnet class that they had in their virtual machine, in it there was one lab that you could link to the CSR 1000V. Right. So it's sort of like that environment.
Yep, just like this. I'll go do a quick lab here. Devnet lab, I think there's 5 pods, maybe 10. He did 10 for us. So when we boot this up, what we get is a single pod, single PC and a 1000B router are what boots up. And the issue we were having earlier is the 1000B was not booting the iOS image, not the iOS, it was an ISO image, was not booting the image to give it its IP address. So you should see here, if we go here, if config, you should get eventually, it takes a little bit because you got to boot a little router up. But it's going to get a 192.168 IP address. This 1000B, eventually we'll get one too. There's actually in the background here that you don't see, there's a little firewall that's booting, and it's providing DHCP services. So there it goes. 192.168 or 192.0.2.1, and then we come over here, and eventually when it finishes booting, takes a little bit. This is exactly the same, by the way, if you did the Devnet class. Basil, I don't know if you did the Devnet class or not.
Yes.
You did? Okay. Well, you know, in the Devnet class, they teach you how to download the Devnet Lab VM and the 1000B and put them in VirtualBox. All right. We've just put it in here. We put it inside of a Cisco pod. And eventually, show IP brief, you'll see that it's there. It'll get one here in a second. All right, come on, I'll get your IP address. There, nope, not yet. There it goes. So you see now it's got a 192.168.56.101, which is what is assigned from Devnet. So now you can actually go in here and you could SSH to it. I just do it from Chromium because it's easy. But you can actually go to https://192.168.56.101, which is at 1000V. Username is Cisco. Password is Cisco123 exclamation point. And boom, you're in. So this is actually the web UI on this 1000V, and actually you can see where I logged in. And so it takes a little bit, but it gets loaded up here. And you can see the default config of this 1000V also has, it has turned on netconf, restconf, all those are turned on by default in this setup so that you can do the labs that require it. So, and here's all the different, the little GUI that goes along with this 1000V. So basically we've just set up the DevNet environment in a NetLabs pod. There's no content here because that's not completed yet. This is just the framework so that if you can do any of the network programmability stuff you want to do, I mean, you can go in here and you've got access to Postman that you can then connect over to the 1000V and do all the different things. You also have here, if you need it, folks, there should be in these documents, it's either documents or downloads. One of these has got the actual labs in it. I think we put them here. That's the templates. Maybe we didn't. We may need to go back and see and add documents in here about it.
Yeah,
Nope, there it is right there, labs. It's under the labs folder. So right there. And they're right here. So the labs are available. So all right. Questions about that?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I have the lab manual for ENCORE version 8. On chapter 25 to 29, they have a bunch of labs about this DevNet.
Yep.
I tried to work on them, but just I need to install basically that CCNP virtual machine. But as I asked basically the other day, it seems on some of those labs there is a switch, and I cannot figure out how to do that configuration, those things. If there is a way that I can get on help on that one, I really appreciate it.
And honestly, it may be that I can't support those labs.
Oh, okay.
Let me look and see which lab you're talking about.
I'm not sure if they are here or not. I have it in the book. I have the physical book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that may be, if it's in the book, I can't, you know.
Yeah. Go please to chapter 25 and 28, please.
Okay. Let me go all the way down here.
Yeah, chapter 25. Here.
So let's go back up to my labs. So Actually, I'm trying to think where I got this thing at. They're at home. They're sitting at home. So there.
Yeah, good. 20.
There's 25.
Yeah, 25, and then 28. It has netconf and restconf to access iOS routers. It seems they are not there, huh?
Yeah,
No.
right. iOS XE device. Now,
Okay, look here.
see, you don't need that switch. I mean, this I about guarantee you that you can run this lab right here. All right, let's see. Let's go back. Let me go back over here. Let me go back to minimize this. Let me go find the other one. I got so many tabs open. Okay, so let's go to here. So the command is, first off, let's see if it supports. Okay, now there's two ways you could do this lab.
Mm-hmm.
One is you could make a YAML file and use the 1000V right here and load this config and do the lab. That would work. But the other thing here, I bet you, if we do show platform software Yang process, see all those are running. Says, and then on part 3 it says open the CCNP VM, and it says open the Postman application. Right there's the Postman application. Okay, so the only thing, I bet you money, all you got to do here is change the IP addresses to match.
Okay.
So let's see, Launchpad, let's do create a + here. We're going to get https://192.168.101/restconf/. Then we're going to do, yeah, here it is. All right, so go the auth tab. We're going to do basic authentication. We're going to set the username to Cisco123 bang. And we're going to go then. Yeah, this, I guarantee this will work. I'm not going to do all of it, but basically you could pick up right here and using that.
Okay, thank you.
Using that one, using the other one. So I'm pretty sure make this the Devnet VM and this the 1000V and pick up where you're actually doing that part. And I'm pretty sure this will work. I haven't run through it, so I won't promise you, but I'm fairly certain this would work. Now let's see the other one. The other lab was, yeah, the other lab was RestConf, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that should work too. I would think that would work because
okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Like I said, I know we're jumping through hoops to make it work, but it's one of those things where we're having to do, we're having to do it to make it. Yeah, it would work. Cause see all that's. Let's see if NCS SSHD is working, was running, and it was running. Yep. So I'm pretty sure these would work.
Okay.
Like I said, it's going to take some customization and working with it. The only thing, the switch that you're seeing there, that's just a switch for connectivity. That's all that is.
Okay.
That's just to connect this PC to that router. We're doing that with a virtual switch in this pod. This pod that I've got you access to has got a virtual switch on the back end that's connecting. Basically, this topology here, there's an unseen switch that's connecting these two. But yeah, it should work.
Okay.
I didn't put all the stuff in there, but I got to tell it what to get. So, all right.
Thank you.
Any other questions? And I'll play with those and see if I can make that one work, but I'm pretty sure those two will work in that. Now, will all of them, you know, probably not. Probably not all the labs will work. But that's what we're trying to do best we can with it.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, other questions? All right, folks. Well, I'm going to first stop my share, and then I'm going to stop my recording.